Toronto Raptors win big over the Brooklyn Nets, 121-93. Welcome to the Raptors tonight, live from Real Sports. I'm Randy Irvin, joined by Jack Armstrong, Rautins, Akil Augustine, and these lunatics behind me.
I like that guy.
This guy's fired up. Akil, is that just for you?
That's my homeboy. We go back. It's for Jack, though. It's all for Jack.
It's all for Jack. All
I
right.
paid these guys back here.
I feel like this happens a lot wherever you go.
Time for the party.
Jack, I'll start with you. This is a big win, especially coming out of the All-Star break when you know that you just don't know what you're going to get from any given team on any given night after the break. So what were the keys to the win for you?
Great guard play. Quickly and Trent were excellent. I thought the playmaking early of R.J. Barrett, what do you have, 5 assists in the first quarter. Their defensive intensity early in the game, they relatively sustained it. And they just ran and played loose. We haven't had a lot of games like this year, so fun night.
What about you, Leo?
I just like the energy, the way the game started. I mean, Scotty, I think, played the way you need him to play. The start of the game, came out with a lot of energy. The backcourt played with a lot of energy. Everything was quick, everything was decisive, and they were able to sustain it, right? There wasn't they had a few little lulls, but minimal. They were able to play with a certain level of consistency, which is what they have to do.
Sometimes teams are still on break in the first game.
So are announcers and broadcasters, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't look like that from the Raptors, especially
Is that a
Scott.
suntan?
Yeah, that was Winburn.
Not as good as Leo's.
Winburn in Indiana.
Well, you know, he doesn't do it that often. He's kind of a rookie, you know.
Lies about Indiana. We know where you were. No, to pick up on your point, Leo said it first, energy, right?
Yeah.
So the Raptors, they knew this is their time. It may not be, playing for the first seed, but they're playing for pride. They're playing, a lot of these guys are playing for contracts, playing for money, playing for position. But even the guys that aren't, like Scotty Barnes, you mentioned it, he came out there. There's a point where him and RJ both got a rebound, and they kind of wrestled for the same rebound as teammates. But guys came out there with a lot of energy. And it was one of those nights where you had a team that was on their heels, right? Guys on the Nets were fouling, they were in foul trouble, they were down bodies, and the Raptors took advantage of that. And that's what you want to see. A young team, learn where their advantages are and lean into that. And so they saw, they outscored them by 36 points on the fast break. That's what you got to do. You want to get these wins.
Scotty was fired up, it seemed, right from the get-go. The rebounds, the points right off the jump.
Leo mentioned that. I agree. He came out. And set the tone. The first 2 plays of the game, he was just into it, and his posting up, his just looking to make plays for others, the force that he played with, getting out and running. That was huge.
But when I watch him post up and score, Leo, I get this feeling like he could do this almost every time down the floor, right? Obviously, you can't run an offense like that every single time, but when he gets it, it's so easy down there for him most times.
We saw that from his rookie year, right? He can post. He's as good a post-up guy as really you see in this league, and it comes very naturally to him. There's very few guys that look for post-ups, try to post people up. So I think that's something as a team, and Scotty himself should be a focal point throughout the course of the game. Everybody likes all the shooting and everything else, but you got to get in there and give him his touches down low because he scores effortlessly either hand, and hopefully you get to the free throw line too. So,
You got to recognize the opportunities too, right? There's no way Dennis Schroeder should be matched up against him in the paint. When you see an opportunity like that, you take it. That's 2 free throws or a bucket.
Yeah. You mentioned a stat in your first answer, but was there a stat that you think was the key to the game, stood out to you?
Listen, this Raptors team is a young team, and this Raptors team, even before they became this young, struggled in the half court. And I think one of the ways that you can really get yourself off is by running, and I think that's the big stat. The three-point shooting in the first half, too. Like, as much as they got out and they ran, I think to have, they were better than 50% from 3 in the first half, and that's key for this group, right? Because they're still trying to find their identity on the perimeter and how to get those shots easily. So I think those are the 2 big things for me that I saw.
And Jack, I felt this before, but it really looked like they're enjoying playing together. They're not playing selfishly at all. They're excited when a teammate scores. They're excited when they make a good pass as much as they score. Are you getting that sense too?
Well, yeah, and when you add guys that are selfless, you look at Barrett and Quickly, Olynyk, just to name a few. It just kind of Bruce Brown had some nice passes tonight. You kind of put it all together, and there's a good chemistry. And plus, you're past the trade deadline now. I don't know about you guys. I found everybody's more relaxed. everybody's a little less uptight. And I think now you just let your hair down and play a little better.
Here's a YouTube question from DeZento. He says, "How do I get on this show?"
Come on down.
So how do you get?
Well,
how do you guys
believe
get on
me,
the
our
show?
standards are not very high.
I had to send in my resume, videos. Randy, had to ask me a million questions.
I think
So
that's
it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
Basically, you just come down and talk to the producer, Chris, my brother.
Right, that's all he's going to do?
Yeah.
You put me through all that crap, that's all he's going to do?
I had to make sure. I had to vet you. I was worried about what you might say.
Guy's got the resume.
I was worried.
Legend.
Clearly
I'm still
not.
worried.
Clearly not.
Actually, it's you I worry about the most because I've hosted with you, and you
You should worry about me. I can go off.
You are off the wall.
I can go left on you any moment.
Let's talk about these Brooklyn Nets, Akil. Where do they go from here? They've changed their coach. They were looking for a little more inspiration.
I got
on
news
the-
for you. It's not their coach.
Yeah.
The problem with the Nets is not the coach.
Yeah,
Right.
to drive that point home, this front office has been given the opportunity to hire 4 different coaches. You haven't heard of a lot of front offices in the NBA that have been allowed to hire 4 different head coaches in their tenure. I personally was a huge fan of Sean Marks and what he did with that original version of this team. That was the D'Angelo Russell version.
Kenny Atkinson did a
Kenny
good
Atkinson
job
was
there.
a great coach. I thought it was, there were some decisions made. I love Steve Nash. I don't think that was the right call for that group. But I think that the front office really, not to call for anyone's job, has been more responsible for the failures of this organization than anything else. And I mean, you had Jacques Vaughn coach this team twice within the tenure of this front office. So I think that's really where I point, some of the blame.
But if you think about the Nets as an organization, go back to the Raptors-Nets playoffs, right?
New Jersey.
Where they roll the dice. They bring in Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, the whole deal.
After that.
How did that play out?
No,
That didn't play
Billy
out too
King.
well, right? Once that was gone, they had to pay the price of getting those guys. Well, sorry, and they're in the same situation now. They had to pay now they're paying the price of the Durant, the Irving, the Harden, right? They're paying the price. So sometimes you roll the dice and you try to play games like that, you're going to find yourself in a really tough situation. And if you kind of backtrack it to the Raptors, the one of the things that this organization hasn't done or won't do is jeopardize the long-term health of the franchise financially with their moves. So some people could say, well, you're not being aggressive enough, but then you look at what happens to teams that are too aggressive. They pay a price.
They tried to cook their meal in the microwave when it was supposed to be in the oven.
That's right.
Right? A lot of organizations.
I like
And it tastes better in the oven anyway.
Way better, but you got to respect the process of developing organically. Find your guys, usually through the draft, but they've really tried to purchase players at the tail end of their careers.
And controversial players. That's,
Yeah.
it wasn't just a guy that was, this is going to be an easy, okay, KD, yeah.
Okay.
Irving's going to be, you don't know what you're going to get.
Harden.
You didn't know what you're going to get with Harden, right? So you're rolling the dice.
At 3 in the morning, you don't necessarily always want to put the oven on, though. You can microwave stuff.
I
He's
like it,
defending
though.
the microwave
It's a
cooker.
good analogy.
Thank
you.
I like it.
What do you make of this team, and then specifically Ben Simmons?
Well, Ben Simmons, the best ability is availability, and he's just been hurt a lot. And we'll see. He's in a contract year next year. Usually, we normally see guys' best level of play when they're in a contract year, because if he doesn't, he's never going to get paid the money he's getting right now. So it's been a tough go for him. But they got a lot of money sunk into him because they had to make a move with Harden, with Philly, and all that. It's just. They got some issues that they got to work through. I think Bridges is a cornerstone. I like Claxton. They got to make some decisions on their roster. They don't fit. It's a disjointed group.
Let's go back to the Raptors then. Was there a notable under-the-radar performance that you guys saw tonight that maybe somebody stuck out that that was different or that was good?
No, I can't say I saw anyone that. I mean, listen, this is audition time for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Like, I think the guy I'm very intrigued in moving forward is Kelly Olynyk, because I know how high the organization is and how high I am on him as a player and as a man. And I want to see how he fits with this group and how a stretch 5 can add another dimension to this team. Because I honestly look at Kelly, and a lot of people say, look at his age and where he's at in his career. I think he's a big part of what the Raptors can do.
Yeah.
And the thing about Kelly is as you keep adding pieces to this team, he can fit with whatever you put here, but he's such a high IQ player.
Yep.
The better pieces you put, the higher level his play goes,
Yep.
and he picks up everybody else. So,
Preach.
like if you took I'll just say from the time when I coach him, if you put him with say in a camp, you put him with a second and third group, he's good. But you put him with the first group, his game goes here and the first group goes here. He elevates good basketball, right?
And the guy I look at, no doubt, because he was a big part of the OG Anunoby trade, Emmanuel Quickly, getting to the level
Yeah,
of.
where is he going to get to?
Well,
That's
I think that's, to me, like tonight, we saw it all from him offensively. And he's got to get a little stronger. He's got to get more forceful how he plays defensively. And look, it's harder playing starters' minutes against starting players.
Yep.
It's stressful per play. You can't. There's no breathers. And to me, I think I'm looking at him and saying, there's another notch on his belt that I think he can get to. That if he can get to, they're going to love the trade. So I think it's part of a challenge too, saying, hey, I like your game, but I think you have the ability for people here to love your game. And it's there within them, but it's part of saying, man, at the pro level, okay, it's a lot more work than I thought it was playing 35 minutes a night as a lead guard. And you gotta, the dudes coming at you are better too.
Yeah, and I think that the key phrase there is lead guard too, because so many people talk about Scotty being that point guard, but there are times when he's going to be able to make, or going to need to be able to make those reads and those decisions, and that's the next, I think, part of that next notch, next wrinkle, next level for him is being able to recognize, oh, Scotty's got Dennis on him, or this guy's in a good position, or this guy's hot. Can you identify that hot hand? Can you run a team from the ball handling position? Because he dribbles a lot, and you can dribble a lot if at the end of that dribbling you recognize the proper place to put the ball and good things happen.
And I also think the Raptors have struggled defensively. And when I watch a team, the first guy I look at, who's your point guard? Because the offense starts from there. Are you keeping the ball in front of you? Are you directing the ball? Is the opposing offense uncomfortable based upon how you're playing them? And if you're not doing any of that, it's hard for your defense to be good. So I think it's just, you got to take that next step where you're like, man, that dude's all over the place. And he's got it in him.
Well, to your point, Jack, so when you're playing for Tibbs in New York, right, you got to come in and play D. But you're coming in off the bench, you're coming against second guys, and you got limited minutes, right? So you can go crazy, you can show, but now it's almost like you pace yourself.
Good point.
Right, you pace yourself, and you have to learn when to pace yourself, right? It's got to be more energy than pace, right? At that, when you're playing
I like
starters
that.
minutes. So I think that's a big adjustment for him, and we'll see if he can do it.
We're going to take the next step and welcome in the fan of the night. Please give a round of applause for Elisa Tabolo. Elisa, where are you at? Wow. A lot of love here for you. All right. Here's some microphone for you. This is Akil Augustine.
Hi, nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Rautins.
Big fan.
Jack Armstrong.
Big fan. Yeah, big fan.
She's fan of the
Big
night.
fan tonight. Big fan tonight.
Okay, we got some hecklers.
You
Hey,
guys got competition.
We're doing battle.
Tough crowd.
Elisa, do you have a comment or a question for the panel?
No, my question is, what changes have you noticed since the big trades?
Ooh, what changes have you noticed since the Raptors made their big change?
changes since the trades?
Since the trades.
Yeah.
I just think that the guys are settled now. They know they're going to play together for the rest of the season.
Sure.
And I think I think they were always trying to do the right thing. But I think for Coach Starko now, hey, look, this is the style of play we're going to play. And let's figure out how you guys fit. And I think they'll make some decisions in the offseason, who fits and who doesn't.
Yeah, I think Jack made a good point earlier that after the trade deadline, things kind of settle down. Everybody relaxes a little bit. You're not worried about stressing about all these different things. Even some of the substitution patterns and guys on the floor were a little different in this game than we see in other games. So I think we're going to see more of that, experimenting, some starters with these second unit players and switch it around, mix it up to see how do you get the best out of each guy, see where it goes.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say that leads into my answer. I think on Darko's side, he's got to do a lot more tinkering. He's got to figure things out because, I mean, you got a Pascal Siakam. You know you've got an offensive threat. You know OG's going to lock down on defense. So how do you replicate and reproduce those stops and those buckets without those guys? And so we saw a stretch with Wara play, we see some stretches where Boucher didn't play. Other guys are in and out. So I think we're going to see a lot more of Darko's expertise as he tinkers and plays with these lineups.
For sure.
Are you ready to spin for a prize?
Moment of
and
truth.
shoot for the prize?
Down for a prize. Let's do
There
it.
we go. Good luck.
Let's do it.
I'm going to
Here we go.
Good luck.
Hey now.
So
We got a new camera angle.
we got a couple of things up there. We got a gift card, T-shirt. So you got to spin first. Give it a good one. See what you
Are there
want.
tickets on
Oh,
there?
no, I don't. Oh, hold on. Yeti cup? Okay. Because
I
it
want
didn't really
something better? I
spin.
want something better?
It didn't
Okay,
really
I'll do
spin.
it.
Hold on, I didn't really
Here we
spin.
go. Here we
Oh, I
go.
want the Yeti.
But if you,
right.
if it's,
All right.
if it's tickets, you
I
can.
want the Yeti.
We'll give you the Yeti.
See what happens
Yeti.
here.
Don't worry.
Oh,
T-shirt, you want the Yeti?
a T-shirt. All right.
There we go. Hey, yeah. You gotta shoot for it. You gotta shoot for it in a minute.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. Where's this Yeti? You gotta make it. Hey! It's nice and purple. Goes with your jacket.
All right. I love it.
Give a little shout out to somebody watching from
Hey,
Randy.
all my
Randy.
students in grade 3 and 4 at Henderson Public Avenue.
All right.
Yeah!
Hey, Randy, first shot.
All
First
right.
shot, should get a T-shirt and a cup.
Good shot. You want a T-shirt too?
Wow, look at that.
Why not? Why not? Randy, how about tickets? I'm a man of the people.
There you go.
How about tickets? Tickets.
No more
Yeah.
tickets.
It all comes directly out of Randy's paycheck.
Thanks, Elisa. Let's give a hand for Elisa. All right, good job, good job.
All right. Like the holiday season.
Good job.
Everything must go. You're like Santa Claus.
Hey, everything
Randy
must
Claus.
go except
The tickets.
Tickets are out there for a while.
Randy's
those
got
are, no,
deals
'cause
there.
the tickets are date night tickets.
Oh,
Hey, now.
Randy.
What
We're gonna
did
see
you
you
say? Oh,
courtside.
I got someone talking in my ear. What did you say? I missed that. We got tickets up there.
All right, what do we
You know,
got
it
here?
never, no matter how many times it's spit, it never lands on tickets.
It's rigged.
We've given them
Ladies
away
and gentlemen,
twice.
it's rigged.
Okay, All-Star game. Gripes,
Boo,
likes,
boo,
All-Star weekend. Okay.
boo.
You don't like it?
It's turning into, we're reaching a point where it might have to become like the NFL Pro Bowl where they play flag football. I personally think, and I said this on the air tonight, I really think that the players, this is the greatest time ever to be a player. You're a 50% partner in the process. But when you're a partner, that means there's give and take. And to me, I think there's a little too much taking and not enough giving. If you're a partner,
Yep.
you're a partner in the business. So you got to say, hey, how can we make the experience for the fans better? How can we make the experience for our sponsors better? How can we make the experience for our television partners better? How can we make your experience, how can we help you, the owners, put more money in your pockets? Because we put more money in our pockets. And to me, I think that's the issue, and I think Adam Silva has got to get in there and address it, not through 30 player reps. If I'm Adam Silva, I'm traveling to all 30 cities. I'm bringing the Players Association president with me, and I'm speaking to each group of 15 players and saying, guys, look, hey man, things are good. Let's not kill the golden goose. And I think this is an example of killing the golden goose.
You know what? To me, as a player, I would be embarrassed to play in that game.
Yeah.
Right? I'd be embarrassed to play that type of a game. And here's kind of where we're at. Why was the in-season tournament put in?
To make the games matter because guys weren't playing hard.
Make guys play harder, matter, don't sit out on Tuesday, Friday night, right? Okay? Now we're looking at an all-star game, which it's an honor to be selected. And you're just playing, hey, your turn, Randy. Okay, your turn, Akil. Jack, do you take a shot? Come on. It's not basketball. It's not what you do. So to me, it's kind of like Jack said, take an interest in the league. Take an interest in, and Larry Bird, I don't know if you heard him talking.
Yeah.
He said, I left everything on the floor. My body's banged up, and I paid a price. Yeah, you paid a price because you're wealthy. You love the game and you're paid handsomely. These guys are making 10 times what Larry Bird played. What's your risk? What's your risk? Go play. That's what you're paid to do.
These players are standing on the shoulders of giants. Everything that they have earned and been able to earn in this league, the way was paved by Kareem, Magic, guys from other generations. I look back at All-Star weekends. You had All-Star dunk contests with 3 All-Stars in the dunk contest. I can't tell you the last time there were 3 All-Stars in the dunk contest.
Nobody wants to hurt their brand.
Right?
But here's the thing. We got guys in the All-Star game throwing down incredible dunks.
Yeah.
They'll do it in the All-Star game, but we got Mac McClung?
Absolutely.
Who is Mac McClung? He's not even in the league.
Yeah.
Wait, if you're saving your legs, you ever watch a warm-up of a regular NBA game? It's a slam dunk contest. But you can't give it, again, you don't want to hurt your brand. If I lose, it hurts my brand.
They're afraid to go viral. They're
Hey,
afraid
Steph
to get
Curry
played out.
put his brand out there on Saturday night.
And I respect that.
He's
I
doing,
respect
you know
that.
why? Because he's a 50%
Yeah,
partner,
yeah.
and he's doing what's good for the game.
Yeah.
He just edged out Sabrina Ionescu, and 29-26. When I watched that, I wanted to see best 2 out of 3. Did you not get that feeling? Like, I just felt like,
Hey,
It's gotta
make
be-
the All-Star weekend, you know, one of our counterparts, Sherman Hamilton, made a good point. Put the game in on Friday. Get it over with. And make the weekend contest. Go like men versus women, internationals versus Americans, whatever. Make contests out of it. Because if guys don't want to play hard,
well, because the game's on Sunday, they get off Monday. A lot of them are back on Tuesday
play
for
Friday.
practice.
Yeah, play Friday,
You know?
leave it out and go.
It's not much of a weekend. It's not much of a break. That's just a point that people
I'm
are saying.
heartbroken.
What were you going to say?
No, my point is this. The league's never been more valuable. And it's not right now as the reason why the league's more valuable. It's been a slow build of generations of players, of Michael Jordans, of Kobe Bryants, guys who have built with sweat equity. And you're going to take away from the game if you treat the game this way.
2 more points I got to make that go right into what we're saying.
I like it. We
We have a new TV deal being negotiated.
Yep.
What if the TV money gets doubled? It might get tripled. You know what that means? The 50% partnership, that cap goes way up.
Leo gets
On top
paid.
of that, we might have 2 expansion teams. You know what? That's 34 more jobs. That's good for business. So let's not kill the golden goose. And to me, if I'm Adam Silver, I've got to forget about, hey, I'm going to chat with each player rep. Forget that. 8 guys in the locker room don't even know what's going on. You got to go and meet each team. You got to come in and say, hey, I'm coming. There's no practice today. We're meeting. And go in every city and take it on the road, because you got to get this thing. Everyone's got to understand, hey, man, we're all in this together.
All right, we got to stop it there. Shout out Caitlin Clark becoming the all-time leading scorer in double NCAA history.
She bad.
Pistol
She
Pete.
bad.
Wow. All right, next game for the Raptors. Friday against the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off goes at 7:30
That's
p.m.
tomorrow.
Eastern. That's tomorrow. Raptors tonight will go live on YouTube shortly after the game. Thank you for watching.
Randy,
I got mailed it. I got one fan.